What's going on, folks? It's your guy Tommy Gain here, Ice Cold Sports. Good to be back with you. Currently in the parking lot at the gym. No big deal. I'm at the gym. You know, don't talk about it. We don't need to talk about it. I'm at the gym. It's not a big deal. Please just leave it alone. All right, all right. Good to be back with you. This is live, 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 live. Usually I say live as in just I'm doing it in the present moment. It's live. This is actually live. Uh, Excited to get to it with you guys. Happy to be here. Let's just get started. Eastern Conference Finals, Game One. There's one man. He is him. HIMmy Butler. Jimmy Butler. Man alive. I it was a tough going to start for the Heat. They were down early, but then 40-point third quarter. Jimmy Butler is the man. Man, I love Jimmy Butler. I love the guy. Big Bulls fan here, and it would have been so nice if the Bulls could have kept him around. He could have been the guy in Chicago for years to come. It didn't turn out that way, but man, just ballsy performance once again. If he can stay healthy, I really do think the Heat can stick around this performance. Yesterday, I kind of in this performance in these Eastern Conference Finals. Yesterday, I said something like, "Well, the injury is going to hold them back," and they still could. But if I were them, I'd be feeling pretty good right now. I'd be feeling pretty good. I'm still favoring the Celtics to win this series, but they're looking pretty good. I wouldn't be too angry if I were them. Uh, in other basketball news, college basketball news, Caleb Love decommits from the University of Michigan. He was transferring from North Carolina to Michigan, and apparently the issue was credits transferring between North Carolina and Michigan. I mean, it's been a rough go of it for Juwan Howard and the Wolverines the last few weeks. I mean, first, Hunter Dickinson says he's out, says he can't get enough NIL money. First, it's NIL money. Now it's they can't get guys in academically. What's going on in Michigan? It seems kind of crazy. This kind of top-level institution, and they're running into these kinds of problems. That's something to look out for and be interesting to see any institutional changes that take place in Ann Arbor to, number one, make sure that they get more NIL money in there, and number two, make sure they don't lose big prospects again or big players because of these kind of transfer issues. I get it. They're a top-tier university in this country. It's how it works. But still. And then finally, Zach Gallen, pitcher, Diamondbacks. He's warming up in the outfield in Oakland, which, you can say many things about Oakland in that stadium. But he's throws a curveball, bam! He hits a bird mid-flight. And if you think you've heard that before, it's because you have. Why? Because Randy Johnson, another Diamondbacks great, did the same exact thing, except it was mid-game. Now, if you watch the footage, you can barely see it. Barely see. I had to replay it a couple times, going back and forth to actually see this thing. So I don't know exactly. It's not as exciting as exciting is a strong word, but it's not as crazy as when you see the Randy Johnson one, because that was head on. It was in game, just literally exploded a bird. This was not exactly the same thing. However, pretty crazy that this happens twice for the same franchise, and not just the same franchise, pitchers of the same franchise. That's kind of crazy and pretty dang weird. But besides that, one last thing before I sign off. Cubs last night, they blew a lead. It's been a rough go of it so far for the Cubs. Pitching has not been spectacular as of late. What are you going to do? And usually it's been starting pitching more than anything. Now they blew a 3-1 lead, 3-run lead in the ninth inning, and all you can do is blame the relief staff. I mean, gosh, it's tough because the Cubs offense has been an issue in the past. But the Cubs offense has been playing well. They played well last night. And then the pitching hasn't been up to par. It seems like they have some reinforcements on the way. I know Hendricks will be back soon for the starting staff. I get it. You gotta, changes will be made, things will be moved around. It's still tough to see. That's about it, folks. First live edition of Ice Cold Sports ever. And I mean ever. If you're watching this right now live, which I think only two people are, Joe Bryson, how you doing, Joe? And my dad. Shout out my dad. You're watching history in the making. This will be up on YouTube shortly. It'll be up on Apple Podcasts shortly. And that's kind of how I want to do this, where I do like a live video, me and you the viewer, and me, the talker, doing things, and then kind of let it go out into the world from there. But that about wraps it up, folks. Thank you all for watching and or listening. Please subscribe on YouTube, on here, Instagram, Twitter, at IceColdSPRTS, or go to IceColdSports.com. And that about wraps it up, folks. I'm Tom McGann, and this has been Ice Cold Sports. See you guys.